What's going on, everyone? It's time for another film review. And well, recently I've been doing a lot of sci fi and horror stuff. So let's talk about some of the films that I watched. Well, I was off for a week and a half, 2 weeks there. So let's cover some of that. So the first one is Without a Paddle. We're going to talk about a comedy. So yeah, Without a Paddle was released August 20th, 2004, and it was directed by Stephen Brill, who did films, more well-known films like Walk of Shame, Little Nicky, Mr. Deeds, Drillbit Taylor, pretty much every classic Adam Sandler movie. Yeah, it's had a box office earnings of only $73 million. I think I'm not sure if it broke even or if it was like considered a moderate success. I know it did well on like home video and DVD rentals and stuff like that because they came out with a terrible sequel, which I'm not going to be reviewing right away. But yeah, and yeah, so but yeah, Without a Paddle. Well, it stars some cast that you don't see pretty much anymore in any of the movies and film. You see Seth Green a bit, he's in it, but yeah, there's Dax Shepard and what's his name? The guy who played Shaggy and Scooby Doo. I keep forgetting his name, but yeah, he's in it too. So it had some pretty good like early 2000s comedy chops cast. They're a little bit underrated at the time, but yeah. So three friends. Well, there's four friends and they're planning a trip, and then one of them dies, and yeah, so they don't know if they should go on this treasure hunting trip where they find the map that this guy was planning and everything in their old treehouse. And so they eventually decide to go and follow it. So they go, and of course they stumble across some crazy things, like accidentally burn down a pot farm, and then go and get attacked by bears. And they go on this wild adventure together. And whether some of them don't get along, some of them do, and yeah, crazy, quirky things ensue. And yeah, they go and try to solve the mystery of this treasure and if it's actually there. This film was pretty fun. It's very early 2000s humor in it though. So yeah. In other words, it's 10,000 times better than most of the crap that comes out these days. Um yeah. So yeah, what did I like about it? Well, I did like most of the humor I find was actually pretty good. Mind you, I grew up in this era, so it was definitely knew it. I loved it when I was a kid when it came out, and my younger brother loved it even more than I did. He watched it like every day for like 3 years, and yeah, it was pretty fun, amusing, and yeah, it was fun watching it. I love adventure comedies and stuff, especially like the craziness, like running into the bad guys and the uh doing the grow up stuff and then getting attacked by the bears. Obviously, it's not realistic or anything, but still, it most of the jokes actually kind of work well in this. I don't know why people rip on this movie, to be honest. I actually find this movie pretty amusing and entertaining, and definitely worth the watch at least. A lot of people say it's terrible and stuff, but those are people that take films way too seriously. And yeah, it's a comedy. It's not a satire film. Like you're not trying to sit through something. I don't know. But yeah, I enjoy this film. I do think some of the characters are pretty bland in it though, especially the bad guys and stuff like that. They need some like way more beefing up. I thought those are probably the worst characters in the whole film. They weren't menacing or anything like that, even though they try to be. But definitely the three main cast people definitely carry the story and definitely make it work. Some of them actually didn't even put their full comedic chops, I think, into that, or they're still working on it, and that later on down the road they came out better stuff. But overall, I thought the film was entertaining and an amusing time. Way better than the terrible sequel that came out like 8 years later. But yeah, Without a Paddle is definitely one that you won't see being made these days because everyone's so uptight and annoying. And yeah, this is why I watch older movies, not new ones, because everything comes out is pretty much shit. So yeah, this definitely sums up. This back when comedy was good, so it was a good rewatch. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's on Netflix right now, and also I'll link the trailer down below, so you can at least check that out if you don't have Netflix or something, and you want to relive it, or you never heard of it, you want to check it out. It's linked down there. Make sure you check out my Instagram as well. I always post clips of films and review in the future. All my stories, I have the film title hashtag, the subject on film and hashtag, so you're aware of it. Also, my Letterbox down below, Derek P Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating after watching the films. And check out my Twitter at reviews_Derek. Follow me on those platforms. Stay in the loop with this channel. Like this video. Share it so more people aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. And oh yeah, I give this film a 3.5 out of 5. But yeah, comment down below your opinions. Let me know if you want me to do the sequel sometime soon. And also, if you have any films or film franchises in any genre and on any streaming service that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. Hopefully find something weird, obscure, and odd that you probably never thought of checking out together. And also so you hear my opinions on popular films that have come out, classic films, and reviews and other things as well. And don't forget to ring that bell because, well, we're going to do a Netflix original in the next one because of my buddies and I watched We Have a Ghost. Yeah. Some like horror comedy on Netflix. So we checked that out. So make sure you tune in for that one. And that'll be the next video. But also make sure you go get attacked by bears and have a great family bonding with your friends. On a great trip. This is definitely the type of film you should watch before you go and do any of those. So yeah, because those are the best ones. So make sure you tune in to the next one and have a good time and cheers.